So I understand all the land. Did you know that the oil in Uganda is the second best crude oil in the world? In fact, the oil that is in Bunyoro area is too thick to transport because it's so crude and heavy. So because the bend goes higher, if it's to be sent to like places in the city, it is steep. You know, water does not travel upward. Water has to travel on the slope. And because it's so heavy, they have decided to create the oil in Amoro, Bunyoro. They're trying to find a way to get it out of Uganda, but they really cannot quickly and swiftly do that because the oil is very thick and valuable. So what have they done with this value of Uganda? Because all mineral rights, all oils, all minerals underground, the government has created memorandums of understandings with countries like China, Japan. They have deals where they coexist somehow. So it is no wonder under Karuma, there is a huge tunnel from Karuma Falls. You know, when they were saying they're building the road to Karuma, they were building a tunnel heading into Sudan. There's a tunnel where life goes on around Karuma from that port where the falls is all the way into Sudan. That's how they plan on taking some oil from Sudan into Uganda and then transporting other things through back and forth, and including the oil. They're using tunnels like that. That's why you will never know, you'll never hear about the value of oil, where it's going, how much it makes for the economy, or how much it brings for Uganda, because they have shared the titles or ownerships of crude oil amongst themselves. They sell that crude oil to those countries and keep the money for themselves. Even Parliament doesn't know how much oil Uganda has. Parliament does not know. Crude oil of Uganda is the second best in the world. Second best. But the citizens of Uganda get zero benefits. The Parliament of Uganda does not even have a law pertaining to this crude oil and its whereabouts. Nobody in Parliament will discuss what the benefits of that oil is, how much the country makes of it, and all of that. The owners of crude oil in Uganda is Kagame of Rwanda. Can you believe it? The owners of Uganda's crude oil, when the oil is sold, the beneficiaries of crude oil from Uganda are Kagame of Rwanda, Salim Saleh, Amama Mbabazi, Besigye. The same Besigye, who they claim is in prison, is the owner or part owner of Uganda's crude oil, and part of the sales goes in his pocket. Besigye of FDC. I know that people are very iffy about Besigye, and every time I mention Besigye, they cringe. Some people support him seriously. But I don't see why I should support a guy who was in the bush with Museveni, who was the doctor of Museveni, who did not tell Uganda that Museveni was a Rwandese, and who never told Ugandans that Museveni was called Tibahaburwa. If Lumbuye had never come on social media, we would have never known. Besigye is one of the worst things that happened to Uganda, because Besigye was in bed with Museveni all along, trying to keep Museveni's government looking like a democracy. Besigye is the #1 enemy of Uganda. #1. I know that people love him, but I don't understand why somebody like him, Besigye, is making such profit from Uganda's oil. When was that agreement signed? When did Kagame, Salim Saleh, Amama Mbabazi, Besigye, Natasha, Sam Kutesa, and Tumwine sit together and make an MOU and say, I get 20% or I get 10% of the oil? Where does that leave Besigye's political career, and how fake it was all along? I don't believe in Besigye. I don't believe in FDC. I don't believe in Nandala Mafabi. He was definitely, obviously, paid by Museveni. I don't believe in Mugisha Muntu. Mugisha Muntu was the army general, army commander when the LRA war was happening in northern Uganda, where I come from, where they killed about more than half of my family. In Acholi, the army commander was General, what's his name? The one who ran in the opposition, Mugisha Muntu. How come Mugisha Muntu has never come out to give account of the Acholi LRA war? How come Museveni is comfortable with Mugisha Muntu being his opposition? And yet this is somebody he was with in the bush who knows all the tactics and so on and so forth. Why is it that the first sons of these people who were killed are more of a scare to him than Mugisha Muntu, who was in the bush with him, who knows all of his tactics and all of his weaknesses? Mugisha Muntu ever comes to run for office and disappears. He knows he's going to win. He knows he will vote for Museveni. He knows that his political career is a hoax. So he just comes, doesn't campaign, gets PDM or whatever. He gets iPod money as an opposition, and then he disappears. Everyone else is trying to say, I lost, I won, or this, that, and he has no discussion. Mugisha Muntu doesn't care if he won. He doesn't even want to win. He's a loser. I mean, Ugandans, let's wake up. No more opposition except His Excellency Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. Clearly, there has never been an opposition like Kyagulanyi because we have seen it. Nobody else, none of the other peasant party. What is that? The guy went and sued, and yet he was the last in queue of losses. He was the worst of the whole election, but he's the one who went and filed a suit, a dispute about the elections. What is he trying to look for? Do you see how fake these people are? The last person is supposed to lay low. The second is supposed to try to fight it. The third can partner with the second and both try to fight it and agree on maybe the second one winning and working with the second one. But the last one in the on the tier is the one who went to court and filed. Do you see how much drama that is? It doesn't make sense. So anyways, the owners of crude oil, and when the sales happen of crude oil, the funds are shared between Kagame of Rwanda, Salim Saleh, Amama Mbabazi, Chiza Besigye, Natasha, Sam Kutesa, and the late Tumwine. Tumwine, I understand, was killed because he had some disagreements. He wanted to take more for himself. And they said, well, you're going to have to get out of here. That's how Tumwine ended up being gone. In the next few days, there's going to be more school fires. I understand they're preparing and gearing for that. Different areas. There's going to be, I was supposed to speak about this a few days ago, something about more deaths of people in high places, generals and other offices in government. But as you can see, I'm late because a few people are already gone. That gentleman who went and broke a house, somebody's home, I forget his name. That one passed, I think, a few days ago. Kulaije is gone. Moses Ali is gone. At the NRM caucus at Chankwanzi, I understand there's going to be a lot of them dropping like leaves because several, at least assured 5 tops, have been poisoned.